Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Dustin.
I can't hear you. Flatlining, man.
How's that?
Yeah, there we
Wasn't
go.
recording yet. Missed your good intro.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well.
I'd like to congratulate
Chipper.
you on your country moving on in the World Cup, as mine has.
What happened?
They went on to the next round.
Did they kick a ball in the hole
Yeah, they're
successfully?
top two in their group, so they get to go on.
Oh.
You've been watching it, take it.
You've been watching the sport ball.
I'm watching it right now. It's probably a little better timing, I guess. I don't know what time. Maybe they're like middle of the night for you, I guess.
Yeah, Ben said something yesterday about getting up at 2 a.m.
Oh.
to watch a game. So, yeah, I think that's the case.
Hey, well, at least they made it.
Well, that's good.
I went and watched the last game against Iran with a friend here, and like the news was covering it. So it was like a weird situation where like there's one tiny TV to watch. I think it was as big as the TV I have here, and it was like for this this whole space of people trying to watch, and there was quite a few Iranians and then quite a few Americans. It wasn't the greatest game, but it was fun.
That's cool.
Not a soccer fan, I take it, or football.
I love playing soccer.
Ah.
I'm one of those people that I don't like watching sport very much. I enjoy
Do
playing
much.
sport.
I think soccer's my favorite to watch.
Your time has come then.
Yeah, I've done a lot. Oh, I see. Are we ever? Yeah, okay. I just got a bunch of notes from Audio Hijack. It's like, I'm throwing these files away. And I was like, wait, what?
Good
It's
timing.
fine.
We have to do that again. You threw me off, man.
Well,
How was Thanksgiving?
it was low key and nice, good. I think it's the first time, I'll go back to the soccer conversation. I just watched a lot of soccer. Like, it's like usually in America, there's football, like American football to watch. And that's kind of the tradition on Thanksgiving. But I just we didn't have like a daytime Thanksgiving Day thing. We had some friends on that night. And then, so I just like watched soccer most of the day, all the midday, because that's it's like morning till maybe around noon, I think is when 12:30 or something is when the last game's over. So I did that both days, Thursday and Friday, and then did some family / friendsgiving things, and then I didn't work. That was kind of nice. It was good.
Well done. Nice.
Yeah.
Did the website work?
Yeah. Well, there's some interesting things. That it was my first Black Friday selling CNC business-to-business products.
Mm.
And I believe that people that buy things for their business do not look at their email or any marketing during those days, because we sold almost nothing until Monday, which was our Sunday, and Monday did pretty well. Like Monday was our second best CNC sale day of retail products ever. So that was good. It was nice. But
That's nice. I wonder if small business owners are busy trying to sell their own things.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that.
I don't know.
What I was pretty concerned, because I was like, oh man, I thought this was going to be like an easy win here, easy, sale situation. And then Friday we sold like a duck tower, and like somebody bought like 2 digital products, and I was like, this is not good. This is not what I was expecting at all. And then Monday came around. So I don't know, putting that in my notes for next year, that it seems like I either need to think about it ahead of time or after the actual holiday, and that the consumers buy during those days. But anyway, did you guys do anything?
The weekend was when you got your sales spike.
Yep.
Interesting. Look, we didn't do anything. We turned on site-wide free shipping last week.
Oh yeah.
Which I was kind of avoiding because I didn't want to do anything for this whole Black Friday situation. And in my defense, it wasn't for that.
Sure.
It's just we needed it. We needed a boost towards the end of the month because things had slowed down a little bit, and we got that boost, I think. Yeah.
So the free shipping is a pretty good incentive there.
It seems to be, even though we've already got free shipping over 1,000. It does seem to sort of help with some of those smaller orders.
Yeah.
Or even not even, like it just seems to be a bit of a trigger for people to go, oh, okay, I'll go and look at that again. Or like,
Yeah.
our conversion rate over the last week is like record high, basically. Never see it so high.
Interesting.
Double what we were already very happy with leading up until that point. So
Same month
that's
last year, you think? A big improvement too?
Well, an improvement on last year. Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, significant improvement on last year. So yeah, I don't know. November was a super strong month. Like record or equal record in Shopify, which is awesome.
Wait, I just realized your November's over, isn't it?
Yeah. So game over.
We're just on 2 different months right now.
It's summer here now, officially.
Roll into December, summertime. It's the strangest thought to me still.
Insert Will Smith sample here.
Here it is, a groove slightly transformed.
I was going to find all of our, here we go. It's now a little more interesting. So that plugin, the Simple Bundles, has been really effective at like pulling in.
Cool.
So I'm about to order some hardware to start the first kind of batches of the pedestals, and in ShipStation now I can see all the products to like, you can make like a pick list of like all the things you need to produce, or like, everything in the orders. Cool. So in the orders we have for pedestals right now, we have, I should get the actual number, generating your pick list, 877 items for the orders we have for pedestals. So many. There's 248 dowel pins, 190 M6 by ones. So it's very interesting to see like all the numbers to me, because I've never had it presented like that. Usually, like Ricky's been doing a lot of shipping. He helped with all the knack orders. I got quite a few, and there's stuff in there that doesn't come out as, it doesn't turn into, like if it's a bundled item, like we have a planner kit, it's like a week plan, a vertical calendar, and a mini calendar. And you literally have to know that to put it into the package. It doesn't like break it out. And so the whole point of, I'm reiterating myself over and over on this, but now this will be nice because it will just tell you on the ship, slip what goes in the package, like actual pieces. Yeah. It takes a lot of setup, but it's pretty cool when it works.
So does that, you don't have that link to Airtable or anything? That will kind of be your master inventory in bundles at this stage?
Yeah. It shows as a mess of pieces, and I haven't gotten to figuring out what will drive inventory yet, because it's all like making negative quantities and stuff because it's a pre-order.
Yeah, sure.
So once we get to that, it'll be more impactful, I think, once they're like, ready to ship kind of products. I don't know if we'll ever get to a place. I'm hoping we'll get to a place where we can like ship same day or next day, because they're all modular pieces, right? Like they're not custom pieces, hopefully. But
yeah, lovely. That'd be nice. I really enjoy that about it. Our kit apart system, we can just kind of go pretty hard and produce heaps of components.
That's pretty.
And then as orders come in, it's just like kind of pick and pack off a packing list, which is pretty pleasing. Jay shot through a message into our production Slack channel yesterday saying like, for Monday next week, we need blah, 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 blah. And so like this huge list of components. Oh, all right. Pressure's on. Meanwhile, the pencil sharpener had crashed and broken 2 cut-off blades.
Oh, the cut-off blade broke.
Like, it was like bent, yeah.
Holy crap. What causes it to crash again? Like, do you know what's causing these? Because to me, it's just like, it just seems like it would run and run and run and not have any issue, but maybe change over some new parts.
Can't remember what John said the first one was. It was something unusual. And then the second one, a little offcut got stuck in my new like cardboard dust hood. And so when the blade went to start, it stalled. And so then it just crashed into the stock without the blade turning.
Yeah, I suppose it's good those aren't metal parts you're cutting too, huh?
Oh yeah, everything's quite soft.
That's our perk.
Squishy.
Wood parts being cut.
Having experimented with those sort of cardboard dust collection and guarding ideas, I'm more and more leaning towards just putting the whole thing in a box.
Yeah.
And just not, because it's already such a complicated sort of mechanical interface of those 4 axes. and the interplay and all the opportunities for crashes, I think I'll just like box the sucker in.
You have like a bunch
Put it
of
in
shower
and
curtains basically like hanging in different places otherwise.
Sure. Yeah.
You just have to like pull them back. What's going on here?
I know. Well, yeah, it kind of obscures the view too. It can be hard to tell what's going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we'll just encase it and then dust extract the whole case.
Yeah.
And that could actually work quite nicely.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
Maybe some 80-20. Build a little
80-20.
enclosure.
Yeah.
80-20. Hey, we never talked about your M1, your secret supercomputer.
Oh. I was like, M1 code? Like, I can tell you how M1s work.
Secret?
I don't know if anybody else wants to hear that. Yeah, I did buy a Mac Studio 2 months ago. And it was a little bit secret just because I didn't really know how it was all going to work out. I've used an iMac, just a standard iMac for years, 27-inch. And then in the pandemic, I had taken that home because I was doing a lot of my video editing there. And I didn't want to like video edit at the shop at night by myself. I just was like, I could be at home in sweatpants. And so I would do a lot of that. And I was doing a lot of video editing during the weird part of the early part of the pandemic. I was doing those weird vlogs, just basically trying to find anything to keep me afloat and never really moved it back. And so then I had that laptop, the M1 laptops that I was working on here. And I kept having all these problems with, the only way I can describe it is just like the RAM just keeps running out because I had bought 16 gig RAM M1s of different types. Even the new, basically, I think we have similar laptops. The Fusion would just destroy it. And I think I am pretty, I do have a lot of other apps running usually, but nothing that's super RAM heavy. And it was just killing me. I was like, I'd spend so much time just sitting, waiting for Fusion to do something or other apps. And so I was like, all right, well, I found a refurbished Mac Studio. Let's try this, sell them iMac. And it's been so good. I think largely because it has 32 gigs of RAM in it, but it is a faster processor. It's just kind of a game changer. It doesn't ever bog down really like the other one. Actually, my dust poop model definitely will crush. It just can't process. Like going from design to manufacturing it, like it's like I timed it one time. It was 30 minutes. I think there's something wrong.
What? Is this on the Mac Studio as well? Mm-hmm. Dude.
It's something to do with, I don't know. Remember when I had that weird problem where it would like, it crashed pretty hard and then couldn't come back? There's something weird going on. I don't know if it's just me or like something I've done where I noticed in that file, I had at one time done some nested parts. And I saw one time it was hanging trying to do nesting and there's no more nested parts anymore. I removed all those. And I was like, what is happening in this file now?
What are you doing?
It's kind of terrifying because it's like got 130 some versions and I don't know what to do. I guess maybe I save a new one. Like, where do you go when your product file starts to get messy and it's where you've created all of a unique product? It's not like, I'll just make some new parameters. It's like custom.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Yeah, Fusion worries me from time to time. In that respect, like trying to run a business with it. Like Josh was having real trouble yesterday with the new update. He'd clicked update and I hadn't, and his was just getting stuck again and again and again, like crashing all day. And his job is to draw things in Fusion, so it's like it's pretty disabling.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they'll fix it quickly, but still, in the context of a business, it's like, come on.
Yeah, right. Or when you can't make cam, that's a weird phrase. When you can't produce files to, like that one day I was trying to finish stuff and it's happened a bunch of times over there's offline modes, but if you don't have the files pulled down, it's just, there's all these potential things. Do you ever have these moments where you think about, you probably do because you're kind of an off-grid-ish type person, I bet, where you think about like what happens if like the internet fails and like society just like falls away. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, what do I do? If there isn't Fusion that works, do we still have a business? Like, do we have to like for how long, would we have to remake all those files somehow in another program?
I have a computer at home, which is called cold storage. which we sync to Dropbox every sort of 6 months and then turn it off again. And it's like a apocalypse hard drive. But yeah, no, Fusion's always sort of sat outside that. Like there's no easy way to back it up or, keep a redundancy of things. So I don't know. We've got so much in there now. We rely on it so heavily as our primary software package.
Yes.
Just blindly running along, ignoring that.
There is a person that made, I think he works at Fusion or Autodesk, made a thing called Project Archiver, which I just linked. I haven't used it in a while, but probably 2 years ago, I tried to back up Fusion, and I'm sure we've quadrupled the number of files we have in there now. I would warn you when using it that it is basically what it does is open each file on your computer and then exports them. So it is very resource intensive, and half the time it just crashes when I use it because as far as I remember, the last time you could only open a project at a time, which like for our job shop work, that is one project. It is thousands of files. And it's cool though, because you can export like generic file types like step or the F3D, and it dumps it into like an actual local file. So you can back things up, which is cool, but you kind of have to, it doesn't quite work as one would hope, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess to round out the Mac has been really good.
Cool. Good to know.
Weird. Maybe you can relate to this. One of the greatest parts about it is it has more ports than normal. Like there's more USB or Thunderbolt ports. I think there's 6 of them. And then it's got the front-facing SSD, or not SSD, but SD card reader. Both of those things are like very minor. I know the people that have like Windows computers are just like, you idiots. Like that's common, but to have those things strangely is really nice. It does look like a nice object to look at, I suppose, too.
Yeah, I like the look of them.
Pretty.
No, I was just interested in its performance. I bought Josh the new M2 Air, MacBook Air, the black one, for work, and it's always a bit of a gamble. Like you can look at forums and see like how people are going with new models and with Fusion and stuff. And it seemed to be okay, so we got that one. And other than these issues yesterday, it seems to have been running pretty well. Pretty happy running Fusion for most of our jobs. I did benchmark it with my little test thing, and it did okay. I think it did the best of any of my computers so far. But it's still not running as it should probably. Supposedly the tentative timeline is next year for sometime in 2023, we'll have full support for Apple Silicon on Fusion. And I guess part of the problem is not that they're not ready for it. I guess all their partner software people, it kind of all has to line up. You can't just go, I don't know how that all works, but like things that feed into how they make Fusion. The ecosystem. Open source and all that kind of crap. I don't understand it, but there's people that are high up that use Macs and are very frustrated too. So it's not that they're not working on it. I'm aware of, I guess, which is good to hear because, I was bitching about it when I was in the UK. I was like, you guys, it's been years now. What's going on? Like, it's so slow. Well, glad to hear that because I think as a business, we're slowly moving everyone over to Apple Silicon, so to speak.
Apple Silicon. I got to say that with like a certain voice tone, I think.
Apple Silicon.
It's almost like it's like talking about like my Rolex watch or something, you got to say it in a low voice so nobody hears you.
That was the spray booth just starting up.
Somebody's stealing your spray booth? It just drives away.
It's probably Ben. He's probably just finished his World Cup session. It's like, what do I do now? I'll just go to work.
It's like me whenever I fall asleep before like 11, I'll wake up at like 4 a.m. I'm like, I guess I'm working now. I'm ready.
I don't love it when that happens. Having been struggling to get up early for ages now. The occasional like, oops, it's 4 a.m. What am I doing? Oh, well, I'll go to work. I've got fun memories of those few days when that happens.
Those few days. Yeah. Yeah. It's happened more and more to me. I was a little off. The vacation time the last few days did not help. I definitely stumbled into some YouTube rabbit holes and PlayStation and strangely, like usually I'll end up like modeling something, in that time. I'm like, oh, nobody else is up. I could cue sexy music, play with Fusion now, like.
Holiday CAD. What have you done to that Stream Deck? It sounds
Dude,
really...
I don't know. It's like the computer's too good for it, I guess now. I don't know. It doesn't work with this shit anymore.
Well, speaking of new habits, I've been fairly diligent with trying to build this new journaling habit this last week. And it's been good. Very good for my brain. Mm-hmm. And very good for my role as business manager, whatever it is. Just like, picking up. Two things I'm doing. I'm taking a lot of voice memos. Oh. Which I'm often in the habit of doing, but I've never been in a good rhythm of like actually checking them regularly. Mm-hmm. It can take me months usually. So I've got a little reminder that pings me at 7 a.m. every morning. It's like, check the voice memos. So I skim through them and I just dump them into a workflowy list, like an input list.
Yep. And
then distribute them into their relevant places.
And then you leave them as audio?
No, sorry. As in, I just listen back to them at 7 a.m. and type them into workflowy. And then at the end of the day, most days, I've managed to get in a quick journal entry. It's been great. Just that little bit of reflection time. It's good for like quieting my busy brain.
Yep.
And some of the like nonsense self-talk cycles that I can get into about like, oh, I should have said that. Oh, what's the resolution to that conversation? So it's been good.
No, I did the same.
Can recommend.
Did the same, probably because we were going to talk today, but I was like, oh, I've been intending to do a little of that. Well, why is it not showing up? Oh, 240. Yeah, I did a little this morning, and it was like half. It's like a stream of consciousness of like just getting crap out of my head often. Like, oh, I need to worry about this and this and this. And it's like half a checklist. And like, should I do this? Should we do this? And then like pros and cons or consequences. And yeah, I have a couple pages worth of crap in here. And interestingly, helpful, always quiets my mind a little bit. I think last week, it was I was like watching soccer. And, as I'm want to do, I'm like, well, I've heard about this other thing. I think I was listening to a podcast and I was kind of influenced by this software that was a new way to do something. And have you ever heard of Zettelkasten? Which is like the most, right? Yeah, exactly. It just laughs.
Amazing. No, I have not.
I don't know that I'm like 100% into this idea, but I love kind of where it relates to something I've done for a long time. Is I just have all these plain text files in this folder on Dropbox, and it's like where I always write my little mindfulness thing, as well as just I have files that are like refx files, so they're like Airtable, and it's like all the things I always forget, or like it's my own little like reference file. That's what I call them. So like Final Cut, I'll have a file, and it's like, how did I get this plugin? Because then I'll change computers and I can't find it anymore. So it's all these like plain text files. It's my own little wiki type thing. And basically what the idea of Zettelkasten that I'm taking anyway is if you use this software called Obsidian, which I'd heard other people talk about, it allows you to take those plain text files and interlink them. And supposedly after so much use, they become kind of like a web or a connected tissue of like, they say to keep them like a single idea. So product idea, right? Like you have an idea, and then as they start to interrelate, supposedly they can help. I don't even know if it's that. It just helps you discover old ideas and interrelate them. And I like that idea because I already have all that stuff. It's just not interrelated, and it's a free app. And so I'm attempting to get into that. And one of the things you can do in Obsidian is just take daily notes, like a daily diary kind of thing. So I'm probably going to move my thoughts like that to that process.
Yeah, I've looked at Obsidian and I was just like, oh, black hole. No, not now.
It is, yeah.
It looks really appealing.
It's a good little software piece. I've opened it. What I'm struggling with at the moment is I can't figure out how to sync the Vault places, and I have it on Dropbox, but it like won't move between my computers. So like that's my only struggle at this point. Otherwise, I'd be using it.
I'm confused. What's the Franken-Noodle? What's the first bit of software you mentioned?
Zettelkasten is like I don't know that it's that important, honestly. It's what generated.
How does it relate to Obsidian?
I think it was generated the idea of like interrelated or interlinked notes.
Oh, so you're not using both?
No. It's like the concept. Okay. And they have their own app or something like that, but it seems like most people, the people that I've heard talk about this use Obsidian to do this, but it's free, so it's like...
Should I click download? I don't know.
Supposedly it's...
Well, I did it. I
have like the saddest sounds. Oh, it's sped up.
Yeah, it's doing weird pitch shifting stuff.
I'm so glad you can all hear this.
It's wonderful.
Anyway, that's my...
just it.
You got me into journaling diary crap again, and so now I must force you into new apps. I don't know. I mean, if you have something that works, it works. But I loved the idea, because there's a lot of stuff that's kind of buried in my 100-some, old text files or I just kind of put stuff randomly all over the place, right? It's like I have to just ask an app called Drafts, and that's all just, there's 500 notes in there that are like basically junk that I'm like, I write a text post for Instagram, copy it to my phone, and just leave the draft there indefinitely. So I've got like 600 some drafts in here that are like searchable, and so I'm trying to find a way to put it all together.
Sounds like you need an intervention. What? Yeah. But like, the text files really throws me. Like you're someone who uses like Wiki, like all this software very intelligently.
Maybe I promote myself that way, but my personal side of this is chaos.
Offline text files? That's chaotic, man. How do you find anything?
No, they're not offline. So they're on Dropbox. So the apps can then...
But how do you access them?
I use this app for years called NV Alt.
I've got an app for that.
Which was like the kind of text-based editor. Well, yeah, how else are you going to edit?
I've seen your taskbar on your Mac. It's just like, there's not any more room on that.
There's no more space. No, there is. Where does it go? You can see the inner workings of my brain right now as I'm describing all this, but I would say that all this started from the idea of, it was Merlin Mann on Back to Work, and he would talk about using text files and NVAll, and I was like, that's a good idea. And so I started using that. And then as the business evolved, I was like, well, this stuff can't be internal to my computer, right? So then over time, the idea of like a wiki for the business happened on Freshdesk, but like all my personal stuff, I'm not putting into Freshdesk. Like, what am I really worried about? I'm not like, that's on my personal things. And like your phone can access Dropbox, and then there's like apps that can edit there too. And Obsidian is on your phone as well. So
sure. Okay.
It actually seems like it might simplify some things for me, considering my chaos of files all over the place.
Cool.
Yeah.
Something I've been trying to do in my workflowy journal is use @ and hashtags so that I can thematically, single click, collate all my notes on a person or a theme and just go loop. I quite like that functionality. I'm excited about the future of that functionality.
Yeah.
Because of my terrible memory, being able to jump.
I was reading, I think, so like this whole Zettelkasten thing and all that, I think it was Hacker News, which is kind of like a Reddit. Somebody was talking about using, like something just went skidding across the floor as the CNC started. Talking about using this idea of these interrelated notes, and that they started using it maybe a year ago and had some 1,000 notes that... Is that really loud? Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. Sounds loud to me. And how the interrelated notes, they felt like it was helping their memory and helping them to think in a more interconnected way that, I love that idea too, because I think we're both describing somewhat scatteredness, and maybe the idea of putting it in one place will help me. If I can actually commit to that, it'll be a little more useful or like I can recall things a little bit better. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
take a
absolutely.
liking on at this point.
Yeah.
Next week on Journaling with Jem and Justin.
Software heavy.
Every once in a while,
Yeah.
we have another ridiculous, frustrating scenario where the layer shifts are back on the Prusas. And we thought we had solved it by opening the doors. The temperature has dropped here, so I'm concerned that now with the heater in the shop going on and off and maybe opening like the door to do a delivery or something is causing both printers now, when we're printing dust boots, it's always dust boots, to layer shift. Again, we have been months now trying to talk with Prusa. They couldn't solve it. And remember, I told you that the only way we figured it out was like we opened the enclosures after I read a forum post, and that solved it for many, many, many prints the last, 6 weeks. And now yesterday we had 3 failed prints on 2 printers.
Are you heating the shop because it's getting colder, or what? What's changed?
Yeah, we're heating. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of is temperature changes in the shop. But it seems crazy to me that like the heater it shoots to the back of the shop and there towards the front.
Oh.
It stays pretty consistent during the day when we're trying to when we were trying to print those, it had already heated up in the day. So I don't know. I'm like losing my mind over that because there seems to be like no reason to it. And it used to only be the top printer, and now it's both in the same day.
Joy.
So aside from changing the location of the printers, or and this also includes using Octoprint, that like web interface on the top one, as well as SD cards on both. So the SD card is what Prusa always recommends because it doesn't have any other software involved, and they think it would be more stable. Both of them failed on SD card yesterday too. So same file. I don't know if anybody has experience with always Y shifts. And actually one yesterday might have been an X shift, or like it was like a partial shift and not the whole thing. It was very weird. It's very stressful.
What a can of worms. I don't know.
That's the thing that makes the parts for our most successful product at the moment. And yeah. Seems like a bad reliability problem, right? Like, should I be thinking about other printers or like trying to change the process completely? I don't know.
Is there any pattern in where it fails?
Somewhat. It used to be right at the end, which was frustrating. So it would go almost 4 hours and then fail at the last 10%. Yesterday, they were in the probably 20 to 35% area in different spots. They're on a backup power system. Like they have a little UPS on them. Yep. So that it's not power related. I don't know. It's really, like Ricky said, what do people do? There. Literally have a temperature controlled box that they put these things in to like, if that's the thing. Yeah. Like, do I have to get like a little heating and cooling system for it? Like, I don't know. How is this so tricky?
I imagine in a production environment, maybe that's critical. Like if you're putting these things to work and you want them to produce really consistently, maybe that's what they need. I know nothing. Josh gave us a 30-minute printing lesson yesterday because he's about to move to the city and he's leaving his printer in the office. He'll be working remotely as of next week. And so he was taking John and I through a little lesson, which I recorded and uploaded to YouTube as a private video so we can watch it next week when we don't remember any of it. But I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of printing. Yeah. Discovering that world more so. But yeah, I don't know, man. That sounds really frustrating.
Yeah, I guess it's like, I mean, like I said, there's a few thoughts about it. It's like, what's crazy is there will be basically perfect prints and then suddenly, just chaos. And I don't know. We're going to go back to talking to them again because I genuinely think our first printer has some type of like hardware issue. Somebody had mentioned potentially like a bad board soldering potentially. So when the heat gets to a certain point, it separates or something, which makes sense to me. But like what I want to do is go, all right, I will send it back to you, Prusa. Please fix it. But like they continue to they're always willing to like chat and talk about it, but we don't get anywhere. It's just this kind of cycle of, let's talk about it again. Then we have to, by the time we rehash everything, it's been an hour and they go, I don't know, try this. And we do it again. that doesn't work. It's just madness. I don't know.
Do you know anyone with a different brand of printer that you can get them to run your part
Interesting.
and just kind of verify that
It's a good idea.
there's not something in your code or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was looking at, there's a few people that have now bought this Bamboo brand, Bambu, I think, and they seem to be really fast. Also pretty affordable, and they have their own enclosure. I guess I don't know. One thing we run into is our part isn't giant, but it doesn't always fit. Like, I can't fit the dust boot part on any of the, what's the carbon fiber printer? Like that your friend has?
The Mark Forged.
Yeah. Like none of the Mark Forged will fit it, which is crazy to me. It's not that big, but so often I run into looking at other options and it's like, nope, it won't fit. But that's a good idea. I should see what else it fits.
Yeah. What's on today?
Here's some quotes. I've had a little bit of where you're talking about like you can just produce a bunch of parts for kit of parts. You can like kind of overproduce and it's fine. I've had this like hang up mentally of, oh, we have orders for pedestals now. I should start making parts. Like that's kind of the next logical step. But I have this like, because they've never been produced for any other reason than prototypes, I'm like, is it done? Is it ready? Like, can I start producing X part?
Yeah.
Because I'm so trained. I've trained myself and Ricky too to produce in sets, right? Like not one, let's make 100 of one part of this thing. Because if something's wrong, like for example, we did get our special brushes. They came in and they didn't fit in the old slots. They are like 20 thousandths wider and they don't fit. So we have to make a different plate, which did that. We made one, we tested it, it worked great. It looks ideal. We shipped one out already. But if we earlier in that week had started making plates for them to go in, they would have all been useless.
Wow.
So I have that same like tendency of like, well, that's the answer. Don't overproduce. Wait, make it 1-to-1. So now I'm like, but I can't do that. And the parts, I could switch back and forth between bases and risers, but ideally I would just run hundreds of risers, right, in a row. But then, should I do that? Is that what I should be doing?
Why can't you switch back and forth?
I can.
Isn't it the same palette?
No, they're very
Different palette.
Big long pieces for like risers are always this shape size, and then the bases are the long thing goes underneath.
So just two different Pearson pellets?
Yeah. It's fine. We can do that.
Which you can just switch in and out, right?
Yep.
You have the 0 point system.
0 points. Did get.
Ooh,
the
tasty.
ASX arrived.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. Haven't used it yet. I need to get that in there and try it out. But pretty cool. Pretty fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that I need to start making parts, I think, is the answer. Even though it feels like I'm waiting on something, but
just do it. Get on with it.
Just do it. Just silly. Yeah.
Just don't make too many.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excuses. That's all I'm hearing, Justin.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. Just make parts. What about you?
I'm feeling a little bit lost, having very much enjoyed my week on the tools.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the last few days have just been like working out where I am and what I do again.
Yeah.
And like catching up. And I've kind of caught up. Production's kind of caught up as of yesterday, which is fantastic. And we've only got like 3 weeks to go until the end of the year. So yeah, just trying to
that's crazy.
Keep things in check and not do the classic end of the year thing of like switching off, but just like keep quoting, keep drawing, keep jobs moving. Jay and I have got some web stuff that we really want to get out, some new landing pages. So yeah, just try and find my rhythm again. My default diary needs a major reset because that's just really out of sync at the moment. I'm kind of just doing whatever the hell I want whenever I want at the moment. So I need to reassess that and reestablish it basically. Try and do that.
You reminded me, landing pages reminded me that for the first time, I think ever, I have a successful series of one successful set of ads on Facebook that's actually converted and not just costing me money mostly. Whoa. It's currently at 12.34 ROAS.
What does that mean?
Return on ad spend. I don't know why they just don't say ROI. Silly.
Is it saying conversion, like paid conversions? Is that how it's working that out?
Yeah, to Shopify. It's only 4 purchases, but that's in the last 30 days.
Okay.
Tell you all the numbers.
Don't turn that one off.
No. Yeah, kind of interesting. I mean, I think part of this success is from I haven't ever really had products or things to advertise where there was a margin to like really spend money on acquisition, as they say, or like it kind of all does.
Yeah.
It sounds phooey, but like it does it on its own, right? Like you kind of just say advertise and it does. But usually, I also think they're really aggressive about claiming their what do you call it? Like that they created the sale.
It's ours.
Yeah.
Attribution. Yeah.
Where it could be like they've seen it on Instagram 5 times and they've been to our site from an email, but then 29 days ago they went to a Facebook ad and now they claimed it as their sale. But it's working, I guess. I checked in on it because usually I just kind of let it sit and not pay attention. I checked, it's like, holy crap, it's positive? No way.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Good. Yeah, ours seem to be working this month too, but everything seems to be working, so
I don't know.
We'll see. Keep rolling
This
along.
one ad has a 99.2 ROAS, which seems absurd. That cannot be.
Oh yeah.
Apparently it's the one that works. Yeah, let's keep the ads rolling, I guess. Yeah. Secret show Shun, if I could say that.
Yeah, so let's go record that secret show.
Added a bunch of new
It's coffee time.
thoughts on that. And we've had a couple new Patreon members, so appreciate that. Go join up.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool.
All right.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks.
Summer madness.
You're just so like crisp. I got to get a keyboard apparently. Do they make desktop-sized keyboards?
Samplers. Oh, yeah. You just need a sampler.
Would be good. Well, you would think this $100 Stream Deck would do something similar, but, it just does that instead. It's like lagging when it starts. Like, how do I play music again?
It sounds pretty terrible, yeah.
What is the thing you're playing on your computer that's playing audio?
What?
On your computer. That Rode thing?
Connect. The Rode Connect app, yeah. That does the Shopify variant now. And
so you sent that to me. Does that have to be you? Do you have to use the Rode stuff?
I'm not sure. I suspect it's probably locked up and they only let you sync it with a Rode mic, but I haven't tried it with any other mics. It's
so
a great
you're using a
little
Rode mic right now,
interface.
Though.
Yeah, just my Rode shotgun mic from the camera.
Interesting.
But it's a great little piece of software. Oh, I can hear myself. That's weird.
That is weird. Yeah. I was trying to be constructive about it, but I was like, here's the deal.